Our life is a long journey where we face various challenges at every moment. Conflicts, crises, and suffering arise in society, family, and within ourselves. Often, we search the external world for meaning, happiness, peace, and the path to tranquility. But there is a strange truth: when we attain self-knowledge, life becomes clear. What does it mean to know oneself? Is it merely knowing one's name, identity, age, or profession? Not at all. Self-knowledge is that deep realization which reveals our true nature, soul, and the purpose of existence. The true purpose, goals, and peace we seek in life actually lie within us. It is like searching for a precious gem, only to realize later that the gem has been in your own hands all along. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates declared self-knowledge as the most important virtue. His famous saying was, "Know thyself." This means that while acquiring knowledge of the external world is essential, it remains incomplete without self-knowledge. Without self-knowledge, understanding or analyzing the external world becomes meaningless. Socrates taught, "The wise know the outer world, but the self-assured know themselves." This reminds us that our first goal should be to delve within, and only then can we truly understand the world. Socrates' perspective has influenced human life across ages. In ancient India, this philosophy was echoed even more profoundly. Tat tvam asi, meaning you are that, is a profound message indicating that what you seek is already within you. This idea is a crucial teaching for realizing the self. It suggests that instead of moving from the dark world toward the light, it is more effective to focus on the inner light within us. Ancient India extensively discussed this subject. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, "One who attains self-knowledge is freed from sorrow." In other words, self-knowledge severs all bonds of mental unrest and grief. When all suffering in human life dissolves, we realize that our inner peace and knowledge have reached a new horizon. However, the question arises, is this self-knowledge easily attainable? According to some ancient philosophers, it is an inward journey achievable through patience, perseverance, and self-reflection. As per ancient Indian philosophy and the Gita, to attain self-knowledge, we must first purify the mind. Modern psychology and psychological research prove that when a person delves deep into their mind and explores their true nature, they begin to understand the real purpose and meaning of their existence. Thus, self-knowledge is not found in external things, but is an internal realization embedded in our hearts, minds, and souls. From the teachings of the Gita and other ancient scriptures, we understand that attaining self-knowledge resolves all life's conflicts and suffering. It grants us peace and mental well-being, far more valuable than the noise and chaos of the external world. But self-knowledge is not just for philosophers or spiritual seekers. It is a vital goal for every human being, helping them discover life's true meaning and attain peace. The journey of attaining self-knowledge is not limited to philosophical or spiritual realms. It is also deeply explored in modern science. Various branches of psychology, neuroscience, and cognitive science have made significant contributions to this subject. In today's scientific age, when we speak of self-knowledge and self-reflection, we can easily connect it to the work of renowned scientists, psychologists, and experts in the external world. Moreover, modern psychologists often regard self-reflection as a crucial tool that helps individuals discover their inherent qualities and hidden strengths. Self-awareness is the ability to have a clear understanding of one's thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Through this, a person can comprehend why their reactions, decisions, and actions occur. As a result, self-knowledge is attained, allowing individuals to organize their lives better and achieve mental stability. Neuroscience has also conducted significant research on this subject. In modern science, studies on brain structure and neural patterns provide empirical support for the path to self-knowledge. Neuroscientists believe that our neural patterns form the foundation of our personality and identity. Therefore, if we can delve deeper into these patterns, our mental capabilities and self-confidence can also strengthen. This is not only beneficial for personal growth, but also creates a broader perspective, bringing greater clarity to how our brain functions. Additionally, certain parts of the brain, such as the prefrontal cortex, influence our decision-making processes. It helps structure and organize our thoughts. When a person learns to consciously and effectively utilize this part of the brain, they can enhance their self-confidence and mental peace. Thus, we see that self-knowledge is not just a spiritual experience. It also holds immense importance in the discussions of science and psychology. Through self-knowledge, we not only learn to analyze ourselves, but also enhance our brain's functionality, leading to mental peace and stability. However, the question remains, how can we attain this self-knowledge? First, one of the most important ways to attain self-knowledge is through meditation. Meditation calms the mind and brain, paving the way for self-exploration. Through meditation, we can analyze our inner emotions and thoughts. It strengthens our self-confidence and self-esteem, making our lives more meaningful and stable. When we discuss the attainment of self-knowledge, our focus naturally shifts to humanity. Self-knowledge is not merely a personal pursuit. It becomes a pathway to social and humanistic progress. By gaining self-knowledge, an individual understands their true nature and shapes their life accordingly, fostering love, empathy, and goodwill toward the world and people around them. The renowned philosopher Bertrand Russell once said, "To acquire self-knowledge is to realize one's own being." Russell understood that when a person truly knows their inner self, the world appears more beautiful and peaceful to them. He expressed through his writings and speeches that this truth is not just personal but a priceless gift to human conscience. According to him, if an individual fully comprehends their soul, they realize that what they seek has always resided within them. He further stated, "What you have found within yourself is the most important thing in the world." This implies that self-knowledge is not just for mental peace and personal growth. It is also a profound gift to humanity. When a person knows their soul, they become kinder, more compassionate, and more considerate toward others. Another crucial aspect is that true understanding of relationships in life becomes possible only after attaining self-knowledge. When a person knows their soul, they become more empathetic and patient toward others. A self-aware individual does not judge people but learns to perceive the world and human conditions from a renewed perspective. This wisdom has always been echoed by great souls. When self-knowledge and humanism unite, we witness the potential for real change in the world. And this is not just a philosophical claim, it has been proven in reality. The greatest transformations in human civilization have come from those who attained self-knowledge and used that wisdom for societal betterment. For instance, Mahatma Gandhi said, "As you see yourself, so you will begin to see the world." Gandhi knew that to change the world, we must first change ourselves. His life was a successful example of this journey. He knew himself and applied that knowledge for the greater social good. His actions and teachings continue to inspire us, proving that only self-aware individuals can guide the world toward peace. Even in modern times, this remains relevant. Research in mental health and well-being shows that self-aware individuals develop greater resilience against stress, anxiety, and depression. Studies confirm that self-knowledge not only brings peace and happiness to one's life, but also makes people more compassionate and kind toward society. This is humanity's invaluable gift. Self-knowledge is not just for an individual, family, or society. It is a blessing for the entire world. A society with more self-aware individuals progresses toward humanity, peace, and prosperity. Now, the question arises, how can we attain self-knowledge, and how can it transform our society? Self-knowledge brings a new perspective that can transform not just individual lives, but also create broader social change. When a person truly knows their soul, their thoughts, actions, and life purpose undergo a profound shift. This, in turn, influences their behavior and outlook, radiating outward to impact others and gradually reshaping society itself. Socrates, Plato, and other ancient philosophers considered self-knowledge essential for societal progress. Socrates taught that when a person fully understands their inner self, they naturally become more respectful and compassionate toward the world, society, and fellow human beings. A society composed of such self-aware individuals would inherently cultivate justice, peace, and equality. This isn't merely philosophical idealism. History shows its real-world impact. Mahatma Gandhi, the great leader and social reformer, embodied this truth through his life. He said, "The extent to which you know yourself is the extent to which you can understand the world." His words remind us that the deeper our self-knowledge, the more clearly we perceive and appreciate the world's beauty. Gandhi's teaching was clear. To establish global peace and prosperity, we must first transform our own minds, perspectives, and lives. He recognized that self-realized individuals naturally work toward justice and harmony in society. In Gandhi's vision, self-knowledge wasn't just for personal purification. It was meant to serve collective welfare. This realization carries immense significance. If we genuinely wish to build a peaceful and just society, our primary goal must be attaining self-knowledge. Only then can we move beyond self-interest and dedicate ourselves to societal progress and service. In today's increasingly self-centered world, the presence of self-aware individuals becomes crucial. When a society has multiple such people, they naturally become more responsible toward their community. Through daily actions, they spread justice, compassion, and love, essential ingredients for a healthy, thriving society. Modern research corroborates this. Self-aware individuals demonstrate greater mental stability and resilience against stress, anxiety, and depression. Their consistent positive mindset creates an uplifting environment that benefits everyone around them. Thus, their value extends far beyond personal growth. They actively contribute to collective well-being. The influence of self-aware individuals permeates universities, workplaces, families, and all social environments. When someone truly knows themselves, they develop the capacity to understand others' feelings and perspectives. This fosters meaningful relationships built on empathy. People are naturally drawn to such individuals because they radiate authenticity, love, and humanity. This dynamic proves vital for creating harmonious societies. As the number of self-realized individuals grows, friendship, cooperation, and peace naturally flourish. This doesn't just improve interpersonal relationships, it establishes a more equitable and balanced social structure. So the question remains, will we pursue self-knowledge merely for personal peace, or will we harness it for society's greater good? A self-realized individual doesn't just fulfill their own life, They perceive the world anew and become catalysts for positive change. Therefore, we must all follow this path. Know yourself, then apply that wisdom to serve society. In today's modern era, where technology is advancing rapidly and the world is increasingly becoming a digital society, the pursuit of self-knowledge has become somewhat challenging. We are constantly bombarded with information flows that often make us lose ourselves. Social media, news feeds, advertisements. These continuously influence us, shaping our attitudes and perspectives. Sometimes, we become so immersed in the external world that understanding our inner being or true self becomes difficult. However, technology can also aid us in attaining self-knowledge. Modern science and technology have provided new ways to understand our minds and souls. Various applications, sessions, podcasts, and online resources have now made self-reflection and self-knowledge more accessible. At every moment, we have new tools and information that offer opportunities to know ourselves better. For example, meditation and mindfulness apps like Headspace, Calm, and Insight Timer play a significant role in many people's lives today. These applications simplify the process of achieving mental peace and self-awareness while enhancing self-analytical skills. Additionally, social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram have become both sources of joy and major contributors to stress. Excessive time spent on social media can affect self-esteem and confidence. However, if used wisely, these platforms can aid in self-reflection and boost self-assurance. By curating our social media feeds to follow only content that fosters growth, we can take a step forward in our journey towards self-knowledge. It's true that social media often has negative effects, especially when people start comparing themselves to others, leading to diminished self-confidence. But when used with awareness, while maintaining self-respect and dignity, it can play a crucial role in self-discovery. In this context, self-knowledge involves a proper shift in perspective toward ourselves and the world, ensuring mental peace and confidence. It's essential to recognize that technology can be a powerful tool in life, but we must learn to use it wisely. Particularly, we should engage with technology while being mindful of our self-worth and confidence. Moreover, recent research in neuroscience and psychology is helping people gain self-knowledge. Studies on neuroplasticity reveal how the brain's adaptability can assist in building self-confidence and self-awareness. Research shows that our brain's capabilities and thought processes are malleable. By cultivating the right mental habits, we can reshape our brain's structure and elevate our self-assurance. Self-advocacy has also become an important strategy. To maintain a stable perspective on our lives, thoughts, and emotions, advocating for oneself is indispensable. Following a process of self-discovery is necessary for attaining self-knowledge, as it strengthens self-belief and self-respect. So, how can we leverage technology and modern science to attain self-knowledge? First, if we focus on developing mindfulness and utilize technologies that enhance mental peace and confidence, the process of self-discovery will become much easier. Self-knowledge serves as the foundation of confidence in our lives. When we truly understand our authentic selves, it adds a new dimension to our thoughts, perspectives, and actions. Confidence isn't merely about believing in one's strengths. It's a power born from self-knowledge that empowers us to be self-assured in every aspect of life. This profound insight reveals that when we know our soul, we can stand firm against uncertainty, fear, and doubt. True confidence emerges when we trust ourselves completely, recognizing that all necessary strength resides within us. A self-aware person never succumbs to fear or hesitation because they possess an unshakable source of self-assurance. The renowned thinker Marie Curie once said, "Real strength is confidence." This timeless wisdom teaches us that the journey to confidence begins with knowing our inner selves. Since confidence stems from self-knowledge, it's crucial to explore our depths, understanding both our strengths and vulnerabilities. A critical point here is that while confidence is a powerful internal quality, it isn't achieved overnight. Self-knowledge is a gradual, continuous, and deliberate process that helps unveil our inner strength step by step. Building confidence isn't just about believing in one's abilities. It also involves maintaining compassion toward one's weaknesses. A self-aware individual acknowledges their limitations and uses them as stepping stones for growth. This fortifies their confidence because they know their perceived weaknesses can transform into strengths through reflection and persistent effort. This approach not only enriches life with meaning, but also creates a powerful ripple effect on personal and societal progress. A confident individual lives more fully, happily, and joyfully. Confidence helps people achieve their goals and face life's challenges. It generates an inner momentum that guides them beautifully through every moment of existence. Another vital aspect is that confidence ignites creativity and innovation. When we recognize our strengths, a desire to create awakens within us. A self-knowing person discovers their creative potential and uses mindfulness to bring new ideas to life, leading to success in both professional and personal spheres. Moreover, confidence provides mental resilience to overcome challenges and obstacles. In every life domain, education, career, relationships, and beyond, confidence is indispensable. A confident person knows they can handle any situation and successfully achieve their purpose. Thus, confidence isn't just a fundamental life force. It's a powerful vehicle for realizing our purpose. To fulfill life's meaning and drive positive societal change, confidence is essential. Self-knowledge, self-confidence, and mental peace form an interconnected triad that brings completeness to our lives. When we truly know ourselves, we realize that life doesn't solely depend on external circumstances. Our inherent peace and solutions lie within us. The renowned scientist Albert Einstein once said, "Peace dwells within ourselves, in our minds and hearts." Einstein's words teach us that no matter how much we search for peace in the external world, true peace actually resides within our own consciousness. By understanding our soul and mental state, we can liberate ourselves from all sorrow and unrest. This concept was emphasized in ancient Indian philosophy. Dhyana, or meditation, served as a vital practice for attaining self-knowledge and mental peace, a spiritual discipline that calms the mind and awakens self-awareness. Modern psychology further clarifies the relationship between self-knowledge and mental tranquility. Research shows that self-aware individuals achieve greater mental peace, experience less anxiety and stress, and approach life with deeper serenity. A crucial insight emerges here. Knowing our soul allows us to remain peaceful in every moment of life. This awareness frees us from arguments, conflicts, and disturbances. A self-realized person never becomes unsettled by circumstances or others' influences. Their inner peace helps them maintain stability even through life's toughest challenges. Thus, self-knowledge and mental peace are profoundly connected. Self-knowledge clarifies our mind, while mental peace enhances our decision-making in every aspect of life. Together, they create an unshakable foundation for living with wisdom and contentment. After attaining self-knowledge, self-confidence, and inner peace, our life enters a new horizon. When we truly know ourselves, we begin to see the world around us with fresh eyes. Every moment, every experience gains new meaning. This realization reveals how profoundly different life's purpose and true meaning can be, something we may have never felt before. In the past, what we sought was often external, a job, a relationship, an achievement that we believed would complete our lives. But when we come to know our soul and its depths, we understand that everything we sought was always within us. Life becomes an inward journey where, instead of focusing on the external world, we learn to observe our thoughts, emotions, and inner attitudes, embracing them as integral parts of our existence. This is a profound transformation, a self-revelation. Self-knowledge is not an end, it is a new beginning. It reshapes our perspective and purpose in life. When we know ourselves, we gain the ability to understand others. We realize we are not alone in this world, and our view of the people and world around us becomes more compassionate. This awareness unlocks new dimensions of creativity and innovation. A self-realized individual does not remain confined within their thoughts and emotions, but sees them in a broader context. Their creativity becomes a force that fuels their dreams and helps them overcome challenges. This strength inspires them to achieve their goals while creating possibilities for positive change in society. When we recognize that our soul, mind, and heart work in harmony, we gain a new perspective on life. We understand that every action, thought, and feeling aligns with a greater purpose. This becomes our greatest strength, the power to overcome all obstacles in life. Moreover, it helps us feel connected to the greater existence. Through self-knowledge, we realize that our purpose is not limited to personal happiness or success, but extends to the well-being of the world and humanity. A self-aware individual works not only for their own fulfillment, but also for the progress and welfare of others. When we know our true essence, we begin to perceive the entire world differently. We recognize that everything that happens is part of our journey. No sorrow, crisis, or circumstance is meaningless. Each is a lesson in our path of self-discovery. Life is not a series of accidents or imaginary events, but a profound inward journey guided by insight and self-confidence. This truth is not reserved only for philosophers or spiritual seekers. It becomes evident when we begin applying self-knowledge and confidence in our daily lives. Gradually, we find our true path, and our life's inspiration and purpose shine anew. An important question arises: will we keep this self-knowledge confined within ourselves, or will we use it to bring about greater change? When our life transforms through this new perspective, our mission becomes contributing to positive change in the world. Our self-awareness will not only bring peace to our own lives, but also serve as a powerful inspiration for the betterment of humanity. This will influence every aspect of our lives: family relationships, careers, social responsibilities, and even personal aspirations. When we realize that all strength and wisdom reside within our soul, we can live with fulfillment while helping make the world a more beautiful and peaceful place. When we attain self-knowledge, it transforms not only our personal lives but also our perspective on all of humanity and the world. We realize that our existence isn't solely for personal happiness. We are part of a greater whole, crucial for the welfare of both humanity and the planet. A self-realized individual sees themselves as part of a larger community, striving to make every action beneficial for humankind. The ancient philosopher Plato reflected this concept in his allegory of the cave. He illustrated how a person emerging from darkness into light gains a new perspective on life. recognizing that what once seemed true in ignorance were merely shadows obscuring reality. This teaches us that self-knowledge liberates us from misconceptions, blind beliefs, and limited views, allowing us to perceive life with renewed clarity. Plato's allegory carries a profound message. Self-realization changes how we see not just ourselves, but the entire world. We understand that all humans share the same fundamental experiences. This awareness cultivates empathy, love, and fellowship. A person who knows themselves learns to love others from the depths of their being. These spiritual truths resonate across religions, philosophies, and sacred texts worldwide. In ancient India, Lord Krishna declared in the Gita, "One who attains self-knowledge comprehends the world completely and elevates their life to greatness." This wisdom reveals that self-knowledge isn't merely a personal journey, but a powerful means to transform humanity and the world profoundly. This understanding shows that self-realization matters not just for personal peace and prosperity, but for the welfare of all. It instills generosity and humanism, motivating individuals to contribute to societal progress. Their thoughts and actions become compassionate, just, and collaborative. Through self-knowledge, we discover not only our existential purpose, but also our responsibility toward the world. In today's era, marked by human rights struggles, social inequities, and environmental crises, the role of self-aware individuals is vital. Those who know their true selves engage with global challenges through a lens of compassion. They feel called to protect nature, uphold human dignity, and champion equality. Self-knowledge creates an inner power that inspires action against global crises and social injustices. Self-realized individuals consciously channel their beliefs, strengths, and ideas for collective welfare. Thus, self-awareness doesn't just bring personal peace. It fuels positive, meaningful change in society. This reaffirms that self-realization transcends spirituality. It becomes a global responsibility. It's a call to every human. Those who know themselves can truly transform the world. This enlightened power builds a society rooted in respect, empathy, and justice. A world where humanity thrives as one interconnected whole. Self-knowledge isn't just for our personal growth. It fundamentally enhances the quality of our relationships. When we understand our true nature, we gain the capacity to comprehend others and build deeper, more meaningful connections. A self-aware individual becomes more conscious, empathetic, and patient in relationships, enabling wiser decisions in family, social, and professional interactions. At the heart of every meaningful relationship lies communication and understanding. Self-knowledge teaches us that recognizing our own thoughts and feelings isn't enough. We must also grasp others' perspectives. When we understand both our own and others' emotional landscapes, relationships gain profound depth. Self-awareness brings transparency to connections, fostering mutual trust and respect. Ancient Indian philosophy and spiritual texts have long emphasized self-knowledge in relationships. The principle of tat tvam asi, you are that, reveals our inherent connection with all existence. A self-realized person recognizes their interdependence with others, how actions, words, and thoughts ripple through human connections. This wisdom applies not just to family and friendships, but to workplace and societal bonds. A self-aware individual approaches colleagues, business partners, and community members with kindness and compassion. They understand that collective progress springs from mutual support. Through self-knowledge, we realize relationships aren't mere interactions or conveniences, but sacred human responsibilities. Self-aware individuals infuse relationships with confidence, peace, and kindness. They recognize that true strength lies in inner tranquility and empathy, transforming relationships into powerful platforms of trust, love, and compassion. Such connections become sources of mutual support and inspiration for growth. This reaffirms that relational harmony stems from self-knowledge. When a person discovers inner peace, external conflicts lose their disruptive power. In relationships, the self-realized understand that peace and empathy must form the foundation. Another crucial aspect is self-love. The self-aware know they must first embrace self-love before genuinely loving others. This self-respect and dignity create unshakable foundations for all relationships. Ultimately, self-knowledge transforms relationships from transactional encounters to sacred bonds, where individuals don't just coexist but elevate each other through conscious connection. Self-knowledge is not limited to personal transformation. It becomes a powerful instrument for societal welfare. When an individual attains self-awareness, they realize their existence isn't solely for themselves but for the greater community. The responsibility of a self-realized person extends beyond personal peace and happiness to actively contributing to others' well-being. A self-aware individual understands the depth of their social responsibility. They recognize that human welfare and planetary protection are integral to their own existence. Through self-knowledge, we develop a sense of duty toward our world, human rights, environmental preservation, and social justice. We comprehend that our personal happiness is deeply connected to uplifting others and fostering collective progress. British philosopher John Stuart Mill observed, "The greater the freedom of an individual, the greater their responsibility." This wisdom reveals how self-knowledge expands our obligations. The self-realized understand their life carries profound social duties to make decisions benefiting societal advancement and human welfare. This responsibility extends beyond society to environmental stewardship. In our current world facing ecological crises, climate change, and natural disasters, a self-aware person recognizes the profound connection between Earth and their own life. Protecting the planet becomes their sacred duty, and contributing to environmental preservation their moral imperative. The self-realized individual embraces their role as an agent of social change and human betterment. This responsibility doesn't just bring personal fulfillment. It introduces new perspectives and energies for collective transformation. Through mutual support, we can all contribute to each other's growth and collaboratively create a peaceful, prosperous, and beautiful world. Ultimately, self-knowledge transforms personal enlightenment into social action, where individual awakening becomes the foundation for global healing and progress. Self-knowledge creates a transformative perspective for prosperity and growth in our lives. When we truly know our soul, we realize that true prosperity isn't confined to external achievements, professional success, or social recognition. It's fundamentally an internal process that nurtures our self-respect, spiritual peace, and profound understanding of life. The more we know ourselves, the more enriched our lives become. True prosperity isn't merely economic or social success. It's an inherent joy and peace that permeates every aspect of our existence. A self-realized individual understands that authentic prosperity springs from within. When inner peace, joy, and confidence are secured, the external world reveals itself through a new lens. Ancient Indian philosophy offers deep insights about this connection between self-knowledge and prosperity. The Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita demonstrate that genuine prosperity is achieved only when one fully knows their soul and attains inner peace. As Lord Krishna says in the Gita, one who attains self-knowledge advances on the path of life's prosperity. This means that those who understand their inherent strength and true nature can follow life's right path and overcome all adversities. This wisdom doesn't just bring spiritual prosperity, it also facilitates professional and social success. A self-aware person creates balance between their strengths and weaknesses, enabling better decisions and making life simpler, more effective, and happier. The path of self-knowledge teaches us that external successes don't always represent inner peace and joy. True prosperity comes when we recognize our internal strength and tranquility. It clarifies our life's purpose and redirects our perspective on wealth and meaning. Moreover, a self-realized individual understands that prosperity isn't just for personal gain. It becomes an important medium for societal and global welfare. When one attains self-knowledge and directs their life properly, their prosperity and success become beneficial for the world and people around them. This creates a ripple effect where personal growth contributes to collective upliftment, making our shared existence more harmonious and meaningful. Self-realization does more than bring personal prosperity and peace. It revitalizes our fundamental human values. When individuals in a society awaken to self-knowledge, essential human virtues like justice, respect, compassion, empathy, and equality naturally flourish. In today's world, where selfishness, discrimination, and exploitation often prevail, the presence of self-aware individuals can catalyze meaningful change. Those who know themselves understand that life's purpose extends beyond personal happiness to contributing meaningfully to humanity. They recognize how their actions and words can positively influence society. This perspective echoes through both ancient and modern philosophy. Japanese philosopher Hirohito Kisen observed, "Self-knowledge breeds responsibility toward humanity." His insight reveals that true understanding of oneself naturally leads to commitment toward social responsibility and human values. The Indian sage Munindranath profoundly stated, "The more you know yourself, the more you can love the world." This wisdom teaches us that self-awareness expands our capacity for compassion toward all people. Authentic human values and social responsibility emerge most strongly in those who have attained self-knowledge. This awareness deepens our social commitment. Self-realized individuals recognize their vital responsibility toward the world they inhabit, a duty they fulfill through conscious action. This understanding inspires them to work for justice, equality, and peace in society. Moreover, self-knowledge strengthens human values. Those who attain it naturally stand against exploitation, discrimination, and injustice, becoming agents of positive change. This teaches us that by cultivating human values within ourselves, our sense of social responsibility and compassion grows organically. Ultimately, self-knowledge transforms not just individuals but the fabric of society itself. When we awaken to our true nature, we naturally uphold the dignity of all life, creating ripples of positive change that can reshape our world. The path of self-realization thus becomes not just personal enlightenment but a collective awakening, where individual transformation leads to the elevation of entire communities through lived human values. Self-realization does more than transform our thoughts, emotions, and relationships. It fundamentally reshapes our life's purpose and direction. When we discover our true essence, our existence begins moving toward fulfilling a profound destiny. We realize life isn't confined to external achievements or singular successes. True meaning emerges when we understand our authentic path and how to walk it with clarity. Ancient philosophers viewed life as serving a noble purpose. As Socrates declared, life isn't just for living. It's given to fulfill a deeper calling. Self-knowledge illuminates this purpose, providing new guidance that reveals how our actions and decisions matter not just personally, but for humanity and the world. The Bhagavad Gita echoes this wisdom through Krishna's teaching. One who attains self-knowledge comprehends life's true purpose. This reveals that knowing our authentic self transforms existence itself into a fulfilled mission. Challenges become meaningful when understood as part of a greater design. Self-knowledge enables profound understanding of life's purpose. It clarifies our goals, showing that true success lies in fulfilling our sacred calling. We recognize external pursuits as transient, while our soul's purpose remains eternal. This awareness empowers us to follow paths that make life truly meaningful. This perspective expands to encompass individuals, society, and our planet. Those who know their purpose transform how they engage with their environment and community. They understand their mission serves not just personal growth, but collective human flourishing. Self-realized individuals perceive life as a journey where each step advances their sacred purpose. Their actions, words, and thoughts align with this calling, creating deep intentionality. They operate from inner certainty that their path leads to authentic peace and fulfillment. Ultimately, self-knowledge and life purpose are profoundly interconnected. Understanding ourselves reveals our true calling, while pursuing this purpose deepens self-awareness. This synergy generates unstoppable motivation, infusing every step with life's deepest meaning and directing our energy toward contributions that transcend our individual existence. Self-knowledge extends far beyond personal peace and growth. It strengthens our commitment to human rights and social responsibility. When we truly know our soul, we recognize that human rights aren't abstract concepts but essential elements of lived reality. A self-realized individual understands that all people inherently deserve equal dignity, respect, and opportunity. The global human rights movement represents a crucial effort to establish equality, freedom, and compassion in human coexistence. Self-aware individuals naturally become vanguards of this movement, recognizing that all lives hold equal value and fundamental rights. British philosopher John Locke articulated, "Every human has natural rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." His words remind us that human rights transcend politics. They're our birthright. Those who attain self-knowledge understand these rights aren't merely legal constructs, but vital for maintaining both inner peace and social harmony. Self-realization awakens profound social responsibility. When one knows their true self, they develop an organic commitment to universal human dignity. Their thoughts, actions, and behaviors become rooted in this truth, empowering them to drive positive societal transformation. This awareness does more than foster peace. It initiates profound humanitarian change. Self-realized individuals embrace the duty to cultivate love, compassion, and justice. They develop a responsible social vision essential for protecting human rights and establishing equity. Ultimately, self-knowledge transforms human rights from theoretical principles into lived practice. Those who know themselves become living embodiments of equality, recognizing that true freedom begins when all people can claim their inherent dignity. This understanding makes self-realization not just a personal journey, but a collective imperative for creating a just world. Self-knowledge is a profound realization that grants us a universal perspective and sense of greatness. When we truly understand our soul, we recognize that our connection extends beyond ourselves to encompass the entire world, all living beings, the environment, and humanity itself. Self-knowledge teaches us to transcend boundaries, revealing our place within a greater whole. We become aware of our interconnectedness and responsibility toward the planet and all its inhabitants. A universal perspective represents the worldview that sees beyond divisions of race, nationality, or regional limitations, instead perceiving humanity and Earth as one unified entity. The self-realized individual understands that their actions, thoughts, and decisions impact not just their personal life, but all life on Earth. This awareness cultivates an expansive, compassionate, and responsible approach to existence. Ancient Indian philosophy, through the Vedas and Upanishads, repeatedly declares, Aham Brahmasmi, I am part of the universal consciousness, Brahman. This means our true nature is fundamentally connected to the cosmic energy. Through self-knowledge, we realize our oneness with all creation, breaking boundaries to embrace a universal perspective that looks beyond personal concerns toward a unified world. This truth isn't merely spiritual. Modern quantum physics confirms that everything is deeply interconnected at fundamental levels. All particles, energy, and life forms exist in an intricate web of relationships. This scientific understanding mirrors the spiritual view of a borderless, integrated world. Self-knowledge helps us recognize our responsibility extends beyond personal or national interests to global stewardship. With this awareness, individuals begin seeing their environment, society, and planet through new eyes. They understand that only through this expanded vision can we create a peaceful, prosperous, and equitable world. This perspective honors all people equally while properly valuing cultural differences and unique circumstances. Universal consciousness deepens human relationships. The self-realized know every person reflects their own soul, and that all living creatures, animals, plants, rivers, and nature itself, deserve respect and care. This worldview generates profound empathy and love for all life. Moreover, this unified vision isn't just philosophical. It's crucial for addressing contemporary global crises. Environmental destruction, war, inequality, and human rights violations demand solutions rooted in our fundamental unity. Self-aware individuals embody this unity and work toward global healing. Ultimately, self-knowledge does more than bring personal peace. It empowers us to contribute to humanity's collective well-being. By realizing our interconnected nature, we become active participants in creating a harmonious world where all life thrives in dignity and mutual respect. This is the true power and promise of self-realization, transforming both individual lives and our shared planetary existence. Self-knowledge brings a revolutionary transformation to our lives. When we truly know ourselves, we don't just change individually, we become capable of transforming the world around us. A self-realized person understands that their actions, thoughts, and daily decisions ripple outward, affecting their environment and the planet. The change begins within, then radiates outward to touch everything. This personal transformation can spark a global movement. To address the world's crises, we must first transform ourselves. Real change isn't just external, it's profoundly internal. Establishing world peace, prosperity, and justice begins with our own self-improvement. Those who attain self-knowledge realize they must embody the change they wish to see in the world before they can create it externally. This is a powerful concept. Become the change you want to see. With self-knowledge, we gain a new lens through which to view existence, and our actions, words, and choices align accordingly. Each step we take, each decision we make, and each challenge we face makes us more responsible citizens of Earth, guiding humanity toward a more beautiful, peaceful, and abundant world. The self-aware individual becomes a living catalyst. Their transformed consciousness naturally influences their family, community, and ultimately society. This is how personal awakening becomes collective evolution. When enough people undergo this inner revolution, we'll witness the birth of a new world, one built on wisdom, compassion, and conscious living. Self-knowledge does more than bring mental peace and transform relationships. It profoundly shapes our moral compass. When we understand our true nature, we realize that every decision, action, and word must be guided by ethical principles. Morality becomes an inner truth that distinguishes right from wrong, serving as life's guiding light that directs our choices toward collective well-being. The ancient philosopher Aristotle observed, "A good life is one lived according to virtuous principles." This means a person's life should be governed by morality, self-confidence, and self-knowledge. Through self-realization, we not only steer our personal lives rightly, but begin following a path that benefits all society. With self-awareness, moral decisions come naturally, helping build a virtuous society. Self-knowledge revitalizes our ethical ideals and values. A self-realized individual recognizes that their actions impact not just themselves but society, the environment, and the world. They therefore anchor their conduct in morality and truth, which not only strengthens their confidence but gradually benefits their entire community. History proves this through luminous examples like Mahatma Gandhi, whose life of moral integrity and truth stands as a powerful testament. His ethical ideals, unwavering commitment to righteousness, and life's purpose became transformative forces for the world. Such self-aware, principled individuals work to establish peace, equality, and justice in society. Self-knowledge deepens our commitment to ethics. Our daily decisions and plans then rest on this moral foundation. Ethical awareness is crucial for navigating life correctly. A self-realized person's moral sensibility guides them rightly, creates positive social change through their actions, and helps build a more beautiful, prosperous, and peaceful world. In today's world, marked by unrest, inequality, and injustice, moral consciousness has become even more vital. Self-aware individuals can drive this change. They possess the strength to walk the righteous path and transform the world. This perspective brings not just personal peace and success, but also the vision to reshape society and our planet for the better. Ultimately, self-knowledge and morality are inseparable. Together they create individuals who don't just live rightly, but light the way for humanity's progress. Self-knowledge teaches us how to navigate grief, sorrow, and life's inevitable crises. Throughout our journey, we encounter various forms of suffering, pain, and despair. Yet those who attain self-realization understand these challenges as integral to human existence. They recognize that even in darkness lies the opportunity to discover life's deeper truths and purpose. Nothing in life is permanent, and true inner peace never depends on external circumstances. The renowned philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche observed, "He who confronts suffering gains depth and authenticity of life." His wisdom reveals that self-aware individuals alone can extract meaning from life's trials. Within every sorrow and crisis lies the potential to discover our inner strength and true calling. This perspective transforms suffering into stepping stones for self-realization. The self-knowing person understands that no grief or tragedy can derail their purpose. They draw upon an inexhaustible inner reservoir of courage to face adversity, maintaining not just personal equanimity, but channeling their experience into service for humanity's welfare. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna teaches, "One who learns to accept sorrow peacefully comprehends life's true meaning." This signifies that the self-realized meet suffering with serenity, discovering genuine peace within their soul rather than seeking it externally. This constitutes life's ultimate wisdom. Our sorrows and crises can deepen and enrich our existence when met with self-awareness. By embracing challenges with conscious equanimity, we uncover life's authentic beauty and purpose, transforming wounds into wisdom and pain into profound understanding. Thus, self-knowledge becomes our most reliable compass through life's storms, revealing that even our darkest moments contain the seeds of enlightenment and growth. Self-knowledge unlocks new horizons of creativity within us. When we discover our true essence, we awaken to boundless possibilities and untapped potential we never knew existed. Creativity ceases to be merely a hobby. It becomes the very fabric of our being. The self-realized understand that creativity transcends artistic expression. It permeates every perspective, action, and thought in life. Aristotle profoundly stated, "Human potential finds its fulfillment through creative expression." This reveals creativity as more than external skill. It's the manifestation of our inner power. Those who attain self-knowledge discover their creative force and harness it to elevate and enrich their existence. The self-aware individual recognizes their creativity springs from soul depths. They understand their ideas and creations aren't personal possessions but currents that can nourish humanity. Their creativity serves not private needs but contributes to societal evolution and planetary well-being. This creative force manifests in all life dimensions, whether through art, innovation, entrepreneurship, or social transformation. Self-realized individuals carry a potent creative impulse that drives them to improve their surroundings and uplift collective consciousness. Yet true creativity isn't limited to novel inventions. It's a way of being. It transforms how we think, act, and perceive. The self-knowing person approaches each moment creatively, channeling inner power to beautify and enrich our world. This establishes creativity's highest purpose, not self-glorification but service to humanity. When rooted in self-knowledge, creativity becomes more than perspective shifting. It becomes society transforming. Such creativity doesn't just change what we make. It changes who we become and how we collectively evolve. Ultimately, self-realization reveals our most profound creative act, the continuous co-creation of ourselves and our world. In this light, every conscious choice becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of existence, every ethical action a note in humanity's symphony, and every compassionate thought a building block for a more awakened world. Self-awareness makes every decision in our life more accurate and powerful. When we know ourselves, we understand how and in what circumstances we must make the right decisions. A self-aware person knows that the decisions they make will not only impact themselves but also affect their society, family, and the world. This realization makes them more responsible, and their decisions align with their inner peace and morality. According to the famous philosopher René Descartes, "I think, therefore I am." Through this, he spoke of a profound aspect of human life. Our thoughts and perceptions are a reflection of our existence and way of life. A self-aware person moves forward in making decisions with this deeper understanding. They know that their thoughts, actions, and decisions are important not only for their own life but also for the larger world and humanity. Self-awareness helps us make the right decisions at every moment of our life. When we know where we are going and what our purpose in life is, our decisions become clear and correct. When making decisions, a self-aware person respects their inner sense and morality, knowing that their decisions will guide them toward the true goal and purpose of life. Furthermore, when facing situations, dangers, and challenges, a self-aware person never becomes disheartened. They know that the solution to every problem lies within them, and they are ready to confront those problems. They have the power to make the right decisions in any situation because they possess strong insight and inner peace. This perspective teaches us that when we achieve self-awareness, every decision we make becomes accurate and profound. Therefore, every step we take in life can bring positive outcomes for both ourselves and society. Self-awareness provides us with a new perspective on patience and tolerance in life. When we know our true selves, we realize that the strength and resilience we need to face life's challenges and adversities lie within us. Confronting every sorrow or crisis, we learn how to move forward with patience and strong determination. The famous philosopher Nietzsche said, "He who knows how to overcome difficulties in life acquires the true qualities of life." His words remind us that any adversity in life gives us an opportunity to strengthen our self-confidence and patience. A self-aware person knows that when faced with any situation, the peace and patience within them give them the strength to face that situation. Self-awareness teaches us that every event in life, whether positive or negative, is an opportunity for learning. If we have the ability to understand our own soul, we realize that any crisis that comes our way is meant to enhance our growth. This realization helps us become more patient, transforming every crisis into a source of strength and learning. Moreover, patience not only helps us face life's challenges, but also contributes to our self-esteem and self-confidence. When we know ourselves and approach life's problems with confidence and patience, it increases the respect and trust others have in us. This also aids in every decision we make. A self-aware person understands that making decisions in life can often be difficult, but with patience and self-confidence, they are able to make the right choice. This strength helps them to move forward in life with purpose and provides them with the power to not get discouraged in any situation. It's true that when things don't go as planned in life, anxiety and frustration can overwhelm us. However, a self-aware person knows that this situation is temporary. Everything is changeable, and with time, circumstances will improve. Such firm belief helps them maintain their patience. Self-awareness is also extremely important for our physical well-being. We know that mental peace and well-being directly impact our physical health. When we understand ourselves, the stress, anxiety, and sorrow in our minds diminish, bringing about a sense of well-being in our physical health as well. It is very clear that physical and mental health are interrelated. When we are mentally healthy and at peace, our body is also healthier. There is a strong connection between the brain and the body. When we establish peace and strength in our mind, it reflects in our body as well. A self-aware person knows that physical health does not only come from diet and exercise. It is primarily a mental state that supports physical health. This is a very important point that we often forget. Just as much as we take care of our physical health, we must also pay attention to our mental peace and well-being. A self-aware person maintains a beautiful balance between their mind and body. They understand that their body and mind support each other, and by working together, these two elements make their life more prosperous and healthy. Self-awareness teaches us to respect and take care of both our body and mind. A self-aware person knows that their body is an invaluable vessel that gives them the strength to move through life. They keep their body healthy and strong not just for pleasure, but to fulfill the true purpose of life. In this way, they establish a beautiful balance between physical, mental, and spiritual health. It is clear that self-awareness is not only confined to our mental peace and tranquil life, but it also brings a new perspective to our physical health. Our body and mind are part of each other, and when we know our true selves, we achieve the fullness of both physical and mental well-being. Self-awareness is a powerful means for spiritual growth. When we know our true selves, we realize that the true purpose of life is not limited to achieving external success or fulfilling desires. It primarily comes through spiritual advancement and attaining inner peace. Spiritual growth brings deep meaning and purpose to our life, which is connected to our mental, physical, and social well-being. This is a key concept in ancient Indian philosophy, where it is said that the goal of life is not just about external achievements, but about purifying the soul and advancing spiritually. The concepts of Brahma Vidya and Atma Vidya teach us that the true purpose of life is to understand the nature of the soul and attain unity with it. A self-aware person knows that their life is solely for their inner purification and the fulfillment of spiritual purpose. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, "The person who attains self-awareness knows that the true purpose of life is to unite with the soul and understand the true nature of Brahman." According to the Gita, self-awareness is not just a spiritual journey, but it also defines the true purpose of human action and work in this world. When a person gains self-awareness, they realize that all their actions in life are necessary for their spiritual progress and the fulfillment of their spiritual purpose. Spirituality teaches us that the path we walk is solely for our spiritual improvement and the attainment of peace. It gives us strength to face the continuous questions and challenges of life. A self-aware person knows that no matter how difficult life may be, following the spiritual path will resolve all problems and lead them toward true peace and happiness. Many spiritual gurus and philosophers worldwide have emphasized the concept of spiritual growth. Attaining self-awareness through divine grace, purifying the mind, and aiming for spiritual liberation are repeatedly mentioned in the Gita, Upanishads, and other religious texts. The realization that spirituality provides is this: our life is an eternal journey, primarily aimed at the advancement of the soul and the unity with the universal Brahman. Self-awareness deepens our philosophical perspective. When we understand our true selves, we gain a new realization about our existence and life. We begin to comprehend the true meaning of life and the purpose of our existence. Philosophers have said that life is not just an external journey. It is an inward and spiritual quest that helps us explore the depths of our soul and existence. Socrates' statement, "The unexamined life is not worth living," teaches us that life cannot be meaningful without attaining self-awareness. According to Socrates, life cannot fulfill its true purpose unless we deeply understand ourselves. In his philosophy, self-awareness is the only thing that gives life its fullness and helps humans achieve their ultimate goals and purpose. Plato further clarifies this idea in his allegory of the cave. According to him, a person who attains self-awareness can break free from all the darkness of the world and reach the light. His statement reflects the idea that the person who understands the true meaning of life and existence will not be deprived of anything. Furthermore, René Descartes' philosophy teaches us, "I think, therefore I am." According to him, the nature of our existence and soul is rooted in thought and perception. Self-awareness deepens the richness of our thoughts and perceptions, making the true purpose of our lives clearer. Provides us with a new perspective on the purpose and depth of our existence. We realize that what we think and believe shapes the true goal and purpose of our existence. When we attain self-awareness, our thoughts and beliefs align with our actions, bringing change to the world. Self-awareness awakens a sense of responsibility and accountability towards global humanity. When we know ourselves, we realize that we are not only responsible for ourselves but also for the larger world and humanity. Several philosophers and spiritual teachers have expressed the idea that we are a part of the entire world and human race, and our actions and decisions are important not just for ourselves but also for the well-being of the world and humanity. According to the teachings of Gandhi, other great souls, and various philosophers, a self-aware person knows that humanity resides within them, and their duty is to work for the welfare of humanity. They can be responsible at every level of society, actively participating in improving education, justice, health, the environment, and other areas. A self-aware person feels a deep commitment to the earth and humanity, and they are motivated to work towards making the world a more beautiful and peaceful place. This creates a broader perspective and sense of responsibility, helping them direct their life's purpose towards the well-being of humanity. Self-awareness not only brings change to our personal lives, but also enhances our leadership abilities. A self-aware person knows that their leadership is not only based on their own qualities, but also on their spiritual and moral strength. Their leadership creates an influence that inspires people and helps improve the quality of their lives. Many great leaders of the world, such as Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and Nelson Mandela, established peace, justice, and equality in society through their leadership. One common trait they shared was self-awareness. They knew that their leadership did not stem from external power and authority, but from their inner peace, morality, and deep respect for humanity. They made decisions based on ethics and self-confidence, which helped bring about positive changes in their environments and societies. Furthermore, a self-aware leader is capable of instilling the right perspective and human qualities in their team or followers. Their leadership is based on mental peace, empathy, and respect, which teaches their team members to show respect and compassion toward one another. As a result, a healthy and productive environment is created, where everyone works together to achieve a common goal. This teaches us that true leadership comes from self-aware and self-confident individuals. Their leadership can guide society and the world in a positive direction, leaving a lasting impact on the lives of others. Self-awareness also fosters a sense of responsibility and respect towards our environment. When we know our true selves, we realize that our environment and the earth are an integral part of our lives. We develop a deep empathy and sense of responsibility towards nature, the earth, rivers, trees, and other living beings. This becomes even more significant in times of environmental issues and climate change. In today's world, where global warming, deforestation, and natural disasters stand as major challenges, a self-aware person understands that protecting the environment is our collective responsibility. A self-aware individual knows that their actions are not only important for their own life and interests, but also for the earth and all its creations. In the past, many cultures and religious beliefs emphasized the importance of humanity's relationship with the earth and nature. In ancient Indian philosophy, it is said, "The earth is our mother, and we are her children." This means that we are a part of nature, and it is our duty to protect the earth. This perspective teaches us that to preserve the earth, we must change our behavior and thinking. We must cultivate a symbiotic relationship with creation, and this is true self-awareness. This is not just a spiritual or philosophical matter. It is also a scientific truth. We must be conscious of protecting our environment. When we know our true selves, we understand that responsibility towards the earth and the natural environment is not only for our own benefit but also for the well-being of humanity and future generations. Self-awareness fosters a commitment to human rights and equality. When we know ourselves, we realize that all people are equal on this earth. While we may have differences in terms of ethnicity, religion, gender, or culture, we all have equal rights to human dignity, freedom, and respect. A self-aware person understands that human rights are not just laws, but fundamental human entitlements that apply equally to every individual. Great human rights leaders of the world, such as Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, and others, through their movements, fought not only for individual freedom but also for justice and equality for all of humanity. They knew that true freedom and justice would only be established when we understand our true selves, and with that knowledge, we would be capable of changing the world. A self-aware person remains conscious of their own and others' human rights. They understand that establishing justice, equality, and equal rights for humanity is their responsibility. Through every action, decision, and effort, they strive to implement these moral values. They believe that one day the world will be a place where every person will be equally respected and free, and they wish to contribute to building that world. This is not just about laws or policies. It is about every individual's intrinsic beliefs and values. These beliefs are deeply embedded in the self-aware person, and they continue to fight for justice, equality, and human rights in the world. Self-awareness deeply influences the process of change in our lives. When we know our true selves, we realize that life is an ongoing journey, and at every moment, we can learn something new. Gaining self-awareness offers us a fresh perspective that creates more impact in our life's process and opens up new horizons in our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. Ancient Indian philosophy says, "One who gains self-awareness witnesses the eternal transformation of the world." This means that self-awareness not only brings change to our personal life, but also has a profound impact on the world and society. A self-aware person knows that every step and decision in their life can be part of a greater change, contributing to the well-being of the world and humanity. Achieving self-awareness opens the door to insight in our lives. When we understand ourselves, we realize that the power and potential within us are inherent only to us. This energy and insight help us make new decisions, face life's challenges, and bring about change in the world. It can be considered a new beginning, a new perspective that makes our life deeper, more meaningful, and more successful. This is an invaluable lesson for human life. The more we understand ourselves, the better we will be able to understand the right directions in life. Change will happen when we can establish unity and peace within ourselves, and from that peace, larger changes in the world will begin. A self-aware person sees every step in their life as part of that change, which will lead to peace, justice, and prosperity in society. A self-aware person knows that change is not external. It is internal. When a person understands their own soul, they realize that the outside world is a reflection of their mindset. This leads them towards empathy, love, and humanity, and they can help transform the world around them. Self-awareness is not only crucial for personal peace and inner development, but also for the welfare and progress of society. When an individual knows their true self, they understand that their perspective towards others and their responsibility towards the world are of great importance. A A self-aware person knows that their thoughts, actions, and daily activities influence those around them. This creates a profound sense of responsibility towards society, guiding them on the path of justice, empathy, and love. If we look at history, we see that the advancement of human civilization has come from those who were self-aware and worked for the welfare of their society. Great leaders such as Mahatma Gandhi, Marx, Rabindranath Tagore, and Nelson Mandela had the perspective that self-awareness and human values are critical for the welfare of society. They knew that their responsibility extended not only to their personal lives, but also to the welfare of society and the world. A self-aware person proves their responsibility towards society not just in words, but in actions. They know that their work and decisions can benefit the entire community. In a self-aware society, each member is conscious of their rights and duties and works for the welfare of others. Progress and development in society are possible only when each member acts based on their self-awareness and ethics, using their strength, abilities, and qualities for the betterment of the community. This is not just a spiritual or ethical matter, but a social responsibility that makes our lives profoundly meaningful. The work of a self-aware person is not only for their own improvement, but also contributes to the welfare of humanity and the protection of the earth. The progress of society is possible when an individual works towards turning their life's purpose into the welfare of society. Self-awareness leads us on the path of truth. When we know our true selves, we understand that the real truth is not just external, but is deeply rooted within our hearts. Truth clarifies the destination and purpose of our life. A self-aware person knows that it is only by walking the path of truth that their life will be fully realized. The famous philosopher Socrates said, "Truth is the first virtue of man." According to him, the search for truth should be the primary purpose of a person. When we walk the path of truth, our soul and mind become peaceful, and all the problems and crises of our life are alleviated. A self-aware person knows that walking the path of truth is the way to attain fulfillment in life. This teaches us that truth is not an external concept. It is an inner realization that resides within us. When we understand our true selves, we realize that all the illusions and confusions of the world will come our way, but by following the path of truth, we can face them. The search for truth clarifies the core purpose and goal of our life and helps us determine the right direction for every step we take. When we attain self-awareness, we gain a new perspective that influences every aspect of our lives. Self-awareness not only helps us realize our own existence and purpose, but it also brings a deep understanding of our relationships, society, and the world. Self-awareness is a power that works not only for our personal peace and happiness, but also for the well-being of all humanity. A self-aware person knows that every step and decision they take can create an impact not just in their own life, but also in the world and for humanity. True peace comes when we know ourselves and trust ourselves. Self-awareness helps resolve every internal conflict and can make the world around us peaceful and prosperous. Every sorrow, pain, crisis, or disaster then becomes a lesson that helps us build our self-confidence and abilities. When we understand ourselves, we realize that the earth and humanity are interconnected with all of us. Our spiritual journey and the pursuit of self-awareness not only benefit us but also contribute to creating powerful change for the welfare of the earth and its creations. Thus, self-awareness is not just a personal journey. It is a noble social and spiritual goal. It opens up a new horizon for us, where we realize that our true purpose is not only for ourselves but for the well-being of the entire world and humanity. It is an ongoing journey, where we have the opportunity to learn and understand something new every day. The more we know ourselves, the more we can comprehend the true meaning and purpose of life. Self-awareness creates peace, happiness, and a sense of responsibility towards humanity, making the earth a more beautiful and prosperous place.